Hello, beautiful community. Welcome to our next episode of the podcast. So I'm not keeping track. My name is Yultaitina.
My name is Hostino Kinda, but this is Let's Quiet podcast.
Yeah. And we're keeping the energy here.
I think I feel like his introductions are changing every episode. So he
Also, like we should have a constant one. But not
this
the
is
fun
this is the original.
Yeah.
We don't want to feel like
Authentic.
we don't want to feel like I think we are doing something because someone else is doing.
No, not even that. They want us to sing for them. We will sing one day to a choir over here.
Inshallah.
Yeah, so this is a bombastic episode where we're talking about things we should stop normalizing or tolerating in relationships, friendships, whatever, whenever, anytime.
Instead of
Yeah, any form of bond. Even mother-daughter.
why did you have to mention mother-daughter bond?
It just came to mind.
But why not specific? You could have said
No,
sister bond.
okay, sister to sister bond, brother to bro.
Or no.
Yeah. So what's your first point? No. Tell us what things people should stop.
The things that actually there are so many things that people have normalized today in any form of relationship, be it marriage, be it family, be it friends, everything.
So tell us what is normalizing. You know, some people don't understand.
Normalizing, it's just making things seem like it's the usual. It's any the kawaida. You know, I don't know how to explain that stuff with
But we
using
get
it.
you.
But
We
the
get
thing is, it's just making it's like doing something continuously to a point that in a zoe or sun. So it stays there, it sticks there. You can't change it. So people think like, okay, it's the usual thing, it's the usual trend. So yeah, let's go with it the way it is going. So
Yeah.
yeah, that is my understanding about normalizing things. And there's so many things, honestly, that have been normalized in both friendship, relationships, family. So
Unaleta kuzoea.
yeah, then at the
Kamzoea.
end of the day, kunakuwa na exactly. Then once someone amekuacha ameenda njia zake, he said, oh, anaringa. Si kuringa. It's the things that we've normalized.
But there's something I will not say that is my point, but it is kind of, but it's just like on top of the high headline,
Yep.
is that sometimes we live in self-denial and we normalize it to a point that we say that, oh, aliniacha, but he will come back because he needs me. Like that is the highest form of self-denial, and you should stop self-denial because, when you don't recognize that you had a part to play in the breakup, and you think that the other person is fully reliable, that's a problem. And people are really making it look normal, or it's something that is used to happen. Mostly ladies.
Well,
That's our issue.
it affects everyone, but then, okay, I won't say anything. So my first point is generalizing people. This one, I have a problem with both ladies and men.
I think that in Australia, I think that generalizing thing.
Exactly. I mean, it's an issue. At times, people mistake whatever we say. You know, at times I may not be referring to you or someone else, but the way I put my statement, you feel included in that. So the things that we say as human, the things that we say or do, make other people feel like we're generalizing people. Then we make it too normal to a point that we can't do away with it. Nikhil tumezoea. One. This one is for ladies. Ladies, stop generalizing all men. Stop saying all men are trash, men are...
Ruto.
I mean, there's a... I had men are rooted like, what?
I see people putting on their status and I'm like, what? Okay, so men are now.
So,
I
I don't know what you mean. I don't know. Well, really, no, men can't make a shot, but that guy doesn't know how to dress properly. I mean, ule jamaa sana man. So I'm saying, ladies mna generalize with me simply because one relationship didn't work. They feel like other men are just the same as that person.
I feel like it's a fear of...
It's fear.
my
Yeah, it's fear that brings that generalizing. Then you make it normal. Then ukiwa na marafiki zako, then you start making your stories, then mna agree. Okay, ni hivo. That is the new normal. Same to men. Simply because one girl didn't agree with whatever you were saying, akakuacha, went to another man. Not all ladies are loose, not all ladies are cheap. It is that single person who left you, yuko hivo. Stop saying ladies are this, ladies are that. Stop saying men are this, men are that. It's not only about relationships. It's so many other things. simply because watoto wa kwetu si werevu doesn't mean mimi pia si mwerevu.
I mean that's just an example.
Yeah. It's like we have different abilities, we have different perceptions about people. There's the way we see people. So, hii mambo ya generalize, we made it normal to a point that, okay, everyone is the same.
So it's a hitch of communication. Yeah.
Probably.
Because if someone says, okay, this man is a spoon.
No, if there is a, why would you say
I'm just saying what is out there. I'm not saying, okay, you need to say some men are spoons. Don't say men.
not even some.
Or
Just
when
say,
you have a trauma or an experience that you didn't really enjoy with a person, you shouldn't go ahead to generalize everyone in that category or with that type of character to be that way. Because I understand, okay, for you to be a man, you have to have whatever makes you a man, right? I don't want to say it outright because it would look so indecent. But because of one man who made you feel like you're not worth,
it doesn't mean that.
yeah, it doesn't mean that whatever could hivo. So like you need to overcome your trauma.
And I think it also comes in with the way our parents behave. But then let me give this example. Parents at times generalize everything simply because they think that we are the same as them. So they think, so simply because for them they went through a specific sequence.
Or what Kitambo did that.
Yeah. And because what Kitambo did that, they think we are them. You see, the world has evolved. But there are different changes right now. You can't compare it to Kitambo.
Yeah.
So I feel like wazazi pia inaweza kuwa wao wenyewe kwa wenyewe or wanatuingiza. In that ati kama watoto wanani ni werevu watoto wetu, ama there's this segment you don't start saying because mtoto si mwerevu, unaanza kusema ati watu wakina mamako plus mamako wote, hey, ni mtoto wenyu, stop. Mbona una generalize hii story yote inakuwa ina involve watu wengine? What's the equation? So I feel like, yeah, I feel like we should stop normalizing this thing of generalizing people. Simply because you had one experience doesn't mean that the same will happen to you if you try a different person or if you try a different experience. It's never the same. Stop that fear. And when you stop that fear, you'll stop generalizing things and people. Yeah, that is my first point.
My first point, or niseme 1.1. So my first point is we should stop using shouting as a mode of communication. I mean, yeah, I'm tagged. Sometimes, when you just lose it, you're just like, uko. But not at a killer time you just want to shout or you just want to create chaos. You want to make people feel like they should fear you. I feel like instead of shouting, I just tell you, uko hapa, ama that person just around. When you talk in a lower tone, it gives more authority. Yeah. I don't know if that's true.
I mean, that's...
Imagine when you tell someone, I hate you, and tell someone, I hate you with passion. It looks more...
Okay, the ones that... Okay, shouting, I feel like shouting, I'll go serious. Yes, Sira.
Yes,
but once you lower your voice, they'll say same thing with a soft voice. That person will ask himself for herself. But then what did I do?
But I think we need to take steps back as much as Niasira.
So shouting to me normalize crazy. We think everything can be solved with shouting. At times, you shout, it creates more issues. So and kama mjachunga, you can end up fighting.
I don't know why most of my examples are in relationships, but girl, if you're used to shouting, I feel like your person will be fearing to come next to you or to spend more time around you. But you tend to create this fear of, okay, yeah, but you're just like talking on that notch of your voice. If you don't know how to talk, you're not attractive. That's it.
I think just stop shouting. Whenever you have an issue, lower your voice, go somewhere, cool down, then come back.
Then have the conversation.
That's a shida ni. We listen. We have normalized shouting. Hata kama mtoto ameperform vizuri, you just want to shout. Hata kama mtoto sijui alimwaga na anapanguza, you just want to shout.
I feel like communication, when we are bringing up children, I think this is what the young generation right now can implement, or the young parents or people who have not had kids yet, or people who are having very young kids right now. You should create that environment of a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, for example, a child is crying over maybe a sweet or whatever, but you call the child, you help the child process the emotions. What is wrong? Why are you crying? Is it this what you want? Okay, hii imefanyika nini? Ni kikombe unalilia, kikombe kimepasuka. Like, you help the child.
Yeah.
Have
You
this
try and get
conversation.
you start that conversation to try and ease in the situation,
Yeah.
and also get the child to understand that not everything is the way they think it is.
Yeah.
Instead of
Not everything you will get with crying.
yeah, and when you start now shouting, and it doesn't affect only our generation, even our parents. So they think right now, some of our parents bado wanazaa.
Oh, yeah.
So they think the same way they raised us na kelele, it is the same way. But just say pia sisi, in one way or the other, we'll want to defend the young ones. Wale wadogo wetu. So tukiona mzazi is making a lot of noise, then we start now. It's like we attacking them. It's like we against them. Then
We're not even attacking.
they feel like sisi ni wabaya. We didn't be wabaya.
At times, I can say in a home scenario, I'm not even ashamed to talk about it, but it is not it's a bad experience. At times, our last born can just start crying out of nowhere. Then my mom just starts shouting, and I'm like, no, you don't have to shout. Just shout. Then she'll be like, she'll just go on defense mode. But later on, Jordan come out, okay, ameshipa from sense. But the next time it will happen, she will start having that conversation with the kid.
So I think shouting isn't good.
Yeah.
At some points. And we have normalized it. So now that we've normalized it, Bambi, it's like everyone wants to shout. We can't solve everything by shouting. That will never happen. So it takes me to my second point, which is rather very funny one. Dear man, this is for you. I'm not even talking about anyone else. Okay. Dear man,
okay,
stop normalizing this. Stop ignoring your personal hygiene. Guys, najua we hate water. Najua hatupendi. But then tukawe wasafi. And it's not
for men
alone. Yeah.
You can wake up in the morning. I can wake up in the morning, I get ready, I'm going somewhere in the morning, very early in the morning, mark you, and I'm going somewhere, and a lady can just pass me, and the strength of the sweat, my God, I'm like, where were you? What were you doing?
Let me tell you.
Jua haijawaka.
Let me tell you a story. I'll be very respectful. So, nilipokuwa mdogo, when I was still young, I don't know where we went with my mom and my sister. So, tulikuwa tumepanda gari pale. Then there was this lady who boarded the bus some few minutes after we had got in. So, akashikilia ile chuma. Kenya vile magari watu wamejaa, so lazima msimame. The lady was dressed smartly, and I liked the way she was dressed up. And she was like, okay. I was like, okay. Watu bado wanang'ara. The moment alishikilia ile chuma heavy, I don't want to say what happened, but I felt like throwing up. That strength of this sweat. Guys.
So can you give us quick remedies? Sometimes this will just come as a bonus. How about we put it at the end of the show? So that
I'll just I might forget.
Okay.
Let me just tell you. Let us stop normalizing uchafu.
Yeah.
Please take care of your personal hygiene. Kuoga, kuosha vyombo, kuosha nguo, your armpits, cleaning up your nose. People don't clean their nose. Hey, and also this one.
Yes.
Ato kendalu. Please.
I
just wipe that place. Sorry.
Wow.
Do your thing, Vizuri. No one will judge you. It's your any moment yako. Make sure when you come out of that place, you are cleaned up properly. We've normalized it again. Yeah, and that place should also be clean. Let us stop normalizing uchafu. So, number one, kama you feel like your armpits, there are so many things. Kuna natural ways, kuna things that you can buy. Roll-on might be expensive, but try and use
like running at 500 shillings, which is so unaffordable. So when you just naturally hair removal, just shave, you can use lemon or vinegar.
Lemon, vinegar. Paka is if you do. Why do you want to smell? At times I wonder why people are so happy It's like they're rejoicing in uchafu.
Hata kuna marashi ya so.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I drip on what I can afford.
What is it? Let me just tell you.
Even body splash, it's very cheap.
Yeah. For anyone who wants marashia so, go anywhere in Isili. These Somali shops, wakonazo. You'll never miss it. Pale town, I think in town there's Luthuli, somewhere around Luthuli. Yeah.
Odeon.
Yeah, Odeon.
All along that.
So this is where you can buy the so. Usianze kunuka hapa kama mbuzi and you're going for a meeting. Then
Smell nice. You know, you never know.
you know, there's something we usually say in life. Si lazima ukuwe na milioni ndo unjipe raha.
Yeah.
Hata 100 can do wonders. Smell like a boss. Stop smelling like what is it called? Just give us the point.
So it is violence. Violence.
Well,
yeah.
Sort of never heard of.
I mean, we have GBV. When we're talking about GBV,
gender-based violence.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know that.
Yeah, for those who don't know.
Yep.
I can say that women are the ones who are most affected.
Sure.
But I feel like also men are in that category. There are men who are.
It depends with how you define
relationships.
and also it depends with how you define GB.
Okay, because it's all about the gender, right?
Yeah.
And also violence in the form of a parent trying to chill. What? Okay, a parent trying to teach the child discipline or to discipline the child. You know, nowadays, I really feel like talking to the child or having a deep conversation with the child is more effective than punishing the child, like when you're inflicting pain on the baby.
Okay. I think both work, but excessive use of force, where now you start to inflict pain using more tofauti. At this age, kuna mali haisaidii. Wakiwa wadogo, maybe from 1 to maybe around 11 years, you can use that, but not excessive.
I feel like it's 9 years. Yeah, 9 years.
Okay, 9.
Because 10, 11, mtoto ashaanza kujijua. The child is trying to develop an identity, but when you're aggressive with the child, he or she can start developing this notion that you either hate him or her.
And that is where fights start, by the way.
Yeah, and
you wonder.
So
I think using viboko ni sawa, but to a certain age.
Yeah.
Then from maybe when someone now is a teenager, it doesn't necessarily mean you don't use that kiboko when necessary. But the best way is to sit down the child, talk to them. Yeah. That is when it comes to children. Again, when it comes to family matters where people are married, si lazima mwanze kupigana ngumi kofi nini. You can sit down and talk. I think
it's true that these children who are brought up,
I think it's true. I don't know what you want to ask me.
These children who are brought up nakiboko, they really end up being the ones throwing fists in the air and the belt and the glasses in the marriage setup.
A lot of it.
I mean, we now see how Jerome came to beat his wife. Simply because the dad believed in kiboko and he believed in not reasoning with his wife. What he says goes.
And I think what also brings about him watu pinga wake wao, it's about the way you're raised. You know, if you're raised in a family whereby the father did that, then as a boy growing up in that house, you'll emulate the same thing.
Yeah.
And you'll want to be as your dad. Because
let me ask you.
Yeah, sure.
If you were to punish a child right now, let's say he's 14 years old, a teenager, for sure I know you're lazima amekufika ukamchapa, right? Then would you be open to having this conversation that, okay, yeah, najua nimekuchapa and umeumia, I'm sorry, but what you did is not okay. Are you open to having this conversation?
I'm very open.
Because I feel like our parents, they really never care of the impact. The other side, we're on the receiving end of whatever they're thinking is right, but they're not okay with looking at the perspective, okay, like, oh, what I did was right according to me, but what about the child's perspective?
You know, I think we should when it comes to that point, and I think we're measuring on this one point.
Yeah, because
Okay,
it's viral.
I feel like when it comes to children, in as much as ubo chapa, please, at times call them after a while when both of you have cooled down. Then start talking as put yourself into that child's position.
Yeah.
Then now start talking. Have that conversation. Tell them, okay, I know I did this, and the reason as to why I did this, it's because of whatever you did. And whatever you did is wrong. And this is why it's wrong. Explain to them. You know, when you explain to them, it's so hard for them to go and do the same thing again.
To despite.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when you just beat them, then you let it slide. It's like you're telling them, and they will develop that notion in their mind that I've seen a lot of people
Because
say
this is
that.
where we start developing this hatred between the parent and the child, where we know this certain child doesn't go well with, they never see eye to eye. Like, kuna that grudge yenye who develop when you're a teenager and your parent corrects you, but you see like amefanya makosa. Yeah, we know you should honor your parent, but what does the next verse say? Don't prove.
I was about to break that, and let us use this GBV point, this violence point, to also study that part of that section of the Bible. I think, I don't know the exact verse, but it says, it talks, I don't know the exact thing, but I'll try to retrieve.
For children, obey your parents and the Lord with his right, honor your father and mother.
That I think is in that
commandment to the promise. Then the next verse goes ahead to talk about wives.
No,
the fathers should not provoke.
That is Ecclesiastes, where it talks about the parents. Children are respecting their parents. Then the next verse, which most of the parents don't read, says parents should also not provoke their children. They forget about that. The same verse talks about wives being submissive, but men now forget to read the other part. It says they should respect their wives. So we feel like, at times, I feel like we use the Bible in different ways. Yeah, and when it favors us, tunatumia vizuri. So this one is to anyone who is practicing violence. If it's your wife, remember the Bible says respect them. If it's your husband, the Bible says be submissive. These two joined together will bring one thing, which is respect and love. It goes ahead and talks about children being respectful, right? Then later on, it talks about parents not provoking their children. So I think in a family setup, for us to avoid all this violence, we should all, let's just
be the two-way.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's stop normalizing beating our wives.
And I really feel like, place nimefika, honestly, the experience I've had, if something that was not okay with me, what happened at home, like mzazi amefanya kitu ameona yeye ni right, but in my eyes, it's this is not right. I'll speak up because you won't take me anywhere.
I'm that type of person who will tell.
Yeah, sikwa.
Yeah, I don't know how to hide
because at times we are the ones who can fill in for those little kids.
Exactly. So unajua, and there's no way wewe utakuja utupige hapa. And this is why now, if you've realized there's some, okay, let me go back to my point of generalizing people. If a boy, if a guy is close to the mom, don't call him a mama's boy. Not all are mama's boys. At times, we are close to our mothers because of the experience that we had.
Or even because the mom is all here.
Yeah. Some of us are raised with single parents.
Yeah. And so I love single moms.
And some of us, wameishi kwenye mazingira, the father is very violent. So now, wengine, we don't grow up to be the same like our fathers. We tend to be different. Then you'll see us being close to our moms. Not because we are mama's boy. We're just trying to protect and appreciate that lady. Because we know what she went through. So I think, men, we should stop normalizing this thing here, body shaming, that is violence. We should stop insulting ladies simply because wametukata. Same way, ladies, stop being dramatic in that now you want to throw each and everything kwa nyumba simply because something didn't go your way. Children, also, stop being violent because wewe kitu ikufanyikia. Sasa you want to go and sijui upangie wazazi wako nini. kama hakukuwa amekuachia mali, is it yours? I think,
Well, that's a whole different scenario.
but breaks the violence whereby we'll want to fight because of mali ourselves.
The last time I cut you off, you were explaining something about the Bible. I think you didn't finish. You were saying that children should honor parents and fathers should not. You can.
I think that's what I was saying. The verse talks about everyone, whereby wives should be submissive, husbands should be respectful to their wives. Then it says children should respect their parents. Later on talks about parents not provoking their children. So I think for this to work, it needs a team effort, whereby the dad knows what he's doing. If it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right. The mom knows what she's doing. If it's wrong, if it's right. The children also know their place. They need to respect their parents. But then okay, let me deviate from that. I think when it comes to provoking us children, Sikila Sa, we now start throwing stones, and at times, let them be. Just be silent and move on. That is why we were talking about not shouting.
Yeah.
Shouting isn't good.
And if you're listening to us, definitely it doesn't hurt for you to bring up a family. I really admire a family setup where everyone can talk about everything.
Yeah.
We come together, and at kama correct and you didn't see it right, I will make you see reasons, and you make me see reasons. Why did you do it? But is it right at this moment, at this time? Did you do it right, even if you wanted to do it? And where we talk about our issues, you tend to bring up the fact that it doesn't matter at kama mimi ni mzazi, I can also come down to your level, like I've lost nothing. I'll actually achieve having that beautiful bond with my children, such that kitu ikihappen huko nje, you won't call your aunt or my brother or anyone else or your friend. You will call me first, because I'm understanding.
I think, one of the beautiful things in life is teaching your children to be friends with you.
Yeah.
In that when something happens, you're the first person they call. When ukishaanza kuwa violent, we will never.
Kwa ana shida lakini anahofia kuja kuongelesha because maybe you can overreact.
And I think that's when now some funny things happen to us as children. My third point is actually, you said it, overreacting.
Oh, yeah.
At times parents overreact, at times we overreact, at times anyone overreacts. At times, I'll start with my first example. I usually like giving examples to explain everything what I'm saying. Okay, point number one, your child gets, maybe your girl, your daughter, gets pregnant out of marriage. Then you as a parent, yeah, it's good to kasirika, ni sawa. But there's a point ikifika, now you're doing the wrong thing. Don't overreact in that say you want to chase them away, you want to create a lot of dramas. You see, at times, there's a reason as to why it happened. You are not God who planned it. God knows why he allowed something of that sort to happen. So when you start overreacting, you know, one, huyu mtoto can kill herself. Huyu mtoto can do so many other things. That is number one. If your child ameingia kwa drugs, don't overreact once that wewe ni mtoto mbaya, then wazazi kwanza the father starts saying hii nitambia watu wa wakina mamako. Don't do that. Instead, call them, talk to them.
Yeah.
In a relationship,
conversations are heavier than everything else.
Yeah. In a relationship, you get your partner, akona someone of the opposite gender, they are talking, maybe they're holding hands. Stop creating issues. Maybe these people are in a business deal. At times, we don't understand what is happening. So that knows that to overreact, kila kitu in creating issues here and there. I think before we jump into some of these conclusions and overreact, then later on come and regret, we should first of all sit down, talk to these people. We understand the root cause of everything.
Yeah, you talked about teenage out of
Wow, they say that, which I never wanted
to agree with that. I had someone singing Kiswahili having a mwana haramu. I feel like the child is not haramu.
The child is
So that is just a highlight. I was talking about the teenage pregnancy. I feel like it's a bittersweet situation whereby they don't want to encourage girls to go ahead and have babies when they are still not married. Because, okay, I feel like this is a whole another topic. Disadvantages of having a child out of marriage. Like, it's a lot.
Well-
But what I want to talk about is that when you make it look like it's okay, you know, yeah, you can react, but do not overreact.
That also
Right?
a point, don't
Yeah, don't make it look like it's okay. Because I feel like today you're like, okay, whatever happened to my child, Jenny Nini, then she goes ahead, does the do, then.
Ali Alisi kid just say what?
Mhm. Yeah, so I feel like these conversations, I feel like Kenya, we're, I don't know if it's Africans or it's Kenya, we're normalizing the habit of absence of sexual, how do we
It's Africa. In Africa, we think that when we talk about, when we have this sexual sex education thing, it's a taboo. Very wrong.
I feel like it's very right for you to talk to your
Yeah,
doctor.
it's right.
You know,
talk.
when you start having your periods, it now means that your system is growing. You're becoming a woman. And when you started having your periods, it means you can conceive a child.
Wait,
What are contraceptives? We have this and this and this.
I think we have dived to another point.
Yeah, but I was saying that we should not normalize these teenage pregnancies because you talked about
No, I was.
react.
I think no, you didn't. That is
I was just
didn't-
highlighting.
the part. I was saying, okay,
Okay.
like let us say it this way:
Mhm.
we're not normalizing him over teenage pregnancy. What else? My
For
point
the
was the reaction. Stop overreacting. You know, when something
it-
has happened, it has happened. You can't do anything.
Mhm.
Hata upige kelele aje, hata ujikate na visu, ufanye nini. It has happened. So instead of kwanza overreact, shouting, creating dramas, kufukuza watoto because of whatever they did, just call them and be, okay, this is wrong. You did something wrong.
Yes,
Now it has
that's
happened.
example,
Yeah.
right? Because there are many
There are
situations.
so many other situations. And I was also saying about relationships, whereby simply because I saw you with another guy, hold hands, I start now creating issues. Oh, sijui nini. And by the way, this one now comes in relationships, whereby if a lady calls me past 9 p.m. after when we're job, my partner starts saying, oh, you're cheating, oh, sijui nini, and that is why they call you at that time. Hey, at times it's work-related issues. By the way, I had something. I think this one is not even connected to whatever I'm saying. But there was this lady who wanted to know if the husband was cheating. So she called this lady who supposedly was cheating with the husband and told her, are you so-and-so? And she said, yeah, I'm so-and-so. Then after that, she asked her, I hear that there's something between you and my husband. Is it true? The lady said, no, it's just a work thing. Then the wife told the lady, but they have something to tell you. Mimi sijakuja vita ama nini. But hey, my husband was recently diagnosed with something very dangerous. The lady was like, ni nini? Yeah, my husband is HIV positive. Then the lady was like, oh my God. Then I told me it is true. So I was just concerned and I was checking up on you. Remember the lady alisemaje?
It was a work thing.
I'm trying to explain overreacting part. This lady, remember the wife,
Or the way she overreacted.
no, the way she was reacting, it was normal. She didn't create issues, kwenda kumtukana, nini. Then now she was bringing a point here. Now I want to give you the first point is, the wife didn't react vibaya. Now this other lady, hearing that huyu jamaa has is HIV positive, she's like, oh my god. Then the wife asked, did you use protection? She said no. Then it was like, oh, so we've been sitting with this person. Then
Okay.
the husband of this other lady who was supposedly cheating with the other, okay, let me use person A, who is the husband who is cheating. Person B is the wife. So person C is the other lady. Then this person C is married. So bwana ya person C was also with this lady B. Akamwambia this lady akamwambia ati hata daktari wangu akuexplainie ndio uelewe how dangerous this situation is. Hearing the voice, they started arguing. What am I trying to say? First scenario, this lady knew that the husband was cheating, but she didn't overreact. She didn't create an issue out of it. But this other family wakaanza kutukanana kwa simu. So we've normalized the part ya kwanza kutukanana, we just overreact anywhere. Nikikataa kununulia nguo, now you want to make it as if you own the world. This one happens to both. Iwe ni watoto, iwe ni watu wazima.
And the ladies in a relationship, if you're feeling tired, smile.
So, that is my point. We shouldn't stop overreacting. What is your point?
Yeah. My next point is mistaking mood swings for bad character.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
This is
You
a whole new one.
I can say mood swings, stroke, bad character, or irresponsibility for mental health.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And you?
So I'll explain the first one. Mood swings for bad character. So I feel like ladies are more affected by mood swings, but here we have gents who have mood swings, but not very many. Some, right? Because we have these people who can put aside their mood swings and work or do something they're supposed to do. There are these who carry the mood swings to what they're supposed to do or to other people. You'll find yourself in a scenario where someone is constantly having mood swings, but in real sense, it's the character, like uzoefu, ashakuwa na tabia ya, if it's clicking, see someone is clicking because amekasirishwa, but in real sense, it's bad character. What do you have to say about that?
Oh, yeah.
Or it's just vile tu imesema.
Let me get your point again before I say something. What is the exact point? Normalizing mood swings?
Yeah. People are normalizing mood swings, but it's not mood swings. It is bad.
Now let us... Okay. Kuvuruta mdomo.
Exactly.
Stop normalizing this.
Or being rude for no reason.
It's becoming now bad.
And then we're blaming it on mood swings. And it's just
I was in the mood. Mood sazifanya. So I feel like we're normalizing some of these things. Yeah, it is bad, and we know it's bad, but we're making it so normal.
We're making an excuse for it.
Actually, moods. So I think it's not about moods. It's the way you just see things. According to me, ukiniambia it's moods. Kila saa moods. I'll be like, okay, this is now your character.
Yeah.
So we should stop normalizing this thing. Yeah, ni moods. At times, that's bad character.
We're trying to respect the roller coaster of emotions. We shouldn't blame our bad character on mood swings. The same as, what was I saying about mental health? Irresponsibility for mental health. If someone tells you that, for example, a broken off relationship, we have to talk about this, right? There is a conversation to be had, a decent one, because no matter how little time you spent in that relationship, it deserves a conversation. That's period. We're not adding anything to that. And then someone comes and tells you that I can't have this conversation because it affects my mental ability or my mental health. It's not good. That is irresponsibility.
Yeah.
You don't want to take responsibility for your actions or be accountable for what you did. Yeah, that's it.
I have nothing else to add.
Okay.
So I think my other point is we've normalized stalking people. Stalking people. And it's like nowadays it's
so if you're a viewer and you've not subscribed, can we say that's stalking? Okay. No, that's not good.
Something but I'll just keep it to myself.
No, just say it.
But that person knows kama ni yeye ama si. So there are these people who usually want to check whatever you're doing. For example, on social media handles zako, they don't even follow you. They just want to check, did he post, did she post? What have they posted? Which new video is there? Which
TikTok has a way of catching you. Just press on profile, whatever, and I just see now who's top 5. I'm like, damn, if you want to subscribe, if you want to follow, but if you're not interested, don't keep profile viewing me.
So I think when we start stalking people, it creates some issues in our mind. It brings about depression.
Depression? Yes. Oh, to that person who is talking.
So wait, you're here trying to find how I do my things to a point that you can't afford my life. But simply because unaifuatilia sana,
You want to match up the standards. You assuming that there is a standard to be reached, and you wanna struggle. You wanna whichever way you will make it up there. You wanna.
and each and every move I'm making, you're there. Please, stop normalizing this thing. Okay, and allow you to do it once or twice.
But
But
time.
kila saa, no, stop normalizing it. Nah, I won't take that lightly. And once I know, I'll be like, okay, why are you doing that? I didn't want to say that word, but why are you doing
Just
that?
say why the hell.
Why are you doing that? Stop normalizing.
Get it right here.
Yes. If you don't, just come and ask me, how did you get here? I'll gladly answer you, but don't start kunichunguza. You know, DCI or CID or whatever they call themselves.
Yeah,
No,
it's freaky. It's freaky.
yeah, that's my point. I think
My final one. Do you know the final one? Oh, this one is the last one.
I can add if something comes up in mind. If it doesn't,
So my final one is gender inequality in terms of emotions. We perceive men as robots of emotions, like they should just bottle it up inside. And this notion of men shouldn't cry, men shouldn't,
man,
show weaknesses. In fact, I really appreciate it if a person can cry in Beliang. I mean, I really appreciate that. That's a whole other level of being vulnerable. And I feel like if we don't allow men to be vulnerable with us, who are they vulnerable with?
I think
Because can you go and cry to your bro?
let me talk for the men. Men,
Talk now.
let us stop lying to ourselves that we can't do some of this. We have normalized. Yes, society says it. We have normalized it, but then at the end of the day, we're the ones who hurt the most. Because now, I have a lot of problems because no one will listen to me. I keep them to myself. Najaza inakuwa nzito. Then I might go bad.
Yeah, this belief that some men have stopped generalizing. Some men say that you shouldn't talk to your partner about your finances. I mean, look at this scenario. Your girl is pressuring you. She wants to get new manicure and pedicure. You don't have that money, but you're not having the capability of talking to her, telling her huna pesa, simply because you believe that there's this masculinity I see people posting on Saturdays and Wednesdays, something masculinity. It says that a man shouldn't talk to his girl about the finances. If you can't have that conversation and you don't make her understand that sina pesa, but when I do get, you will have new manicure and
I
pedicure.
think, and that is why I talked about generalizing. We think that everyone is the same. There are people who we can talk to about our financial need.
Issues.
Yeah, but there are people who you can't really talk to them because they knew what next. So I'm not
Find your person that.
Yeah, so I'm saying once we stop generalizing people and be open with these things, tutakuwa sawa. So then the society should also stop assuming that men are robots. But we have feelings, and you know what? One thing
Men are more emotional.
I think one thing
We just wear it.
what is what
sleep.
these whites they don't hide anything. You find a guy crying like mtoto, but Africans, what is our problem? What's any situation I was a man, I can't cry. Kwani during when our parents died, do we hide somewhere and cry? Hey, if we can cry during those time, and and remember, even if that time you cry, it won't come back. But there are some situations in life where once you let it out,
You'll feel better.
you'll feel better. The same way,
Like crying over issues.
That is just easy.
Fight to that. Like machozi yangu inaponga hapa, but for me to show you that I've cried, if you're not really a close person, it's difficult. And I feel like, crying just relieves me. I feel like tomorrow is gonna be better. But after I cry, I just want to sleep, then I'll wake up in bed.
Yeah, so that is that. That is
Yeah.
so, as we end this episode, I think the things that we should stop normalizing, these are just some of the things. There's so many other things we should stop normalizing. And let us stop making them feel like ni kawaida, because some of these things zinatumiza sisi wenyewe, and we tend up, maybe we also hurt other people simply because we believe it's very normal. Hey, stop normalizing these things. Have conversations, talk to people, understand people, appreciate people, and you yourself. Then once you do that, you will know that this one is normal, this one isn't normal. That's all I can say. I don't want to add anything that might deviate from whatever we said here.
It's okay. As for me, I will emphasize the use of vinegar and lemon and hair removal. I know it's funny cleaning yourself up, girl or boy. You gotta smell nice for you.
Wow.
So that's all I can say. And remember to subscribe. Subscribe, leave a comment. You can also, say something that we've left out or address something that you'd like us to respond to. What other thing have I forgotten?
And I was supposed to say something today.
Say it.
And I think
Mhm.
I want to appreciate the subscribers that we have as of now. I want
followers.
I want to appreciate the followers on TikTok. I also want to appreciate those people who keep watching whatever we post, keep liking, and that's one or two people who usually comment. God bless you so much. At least you give us that encouragement and the motivation to continue, because we know that someone out there is saying, I usually work with the principle that it doesn't matter if it's one person who likes whatever you're doing or 1,000. That one person is better than 1,000 fake people who come and tell you, oh, nipo. That one person who tells you the truth.
But when you look at the views,
I mean, thank you for everyone who's already with us support. I mean, it's so best.
participation is very valid.
Yeah.
And we're going to be a good family, I can say, because it's like we're a family and we can communicate. We can, you can comment, we will respond. Something I'd also like to say is that communication is very vital. That is the start and the end of problems and issues. And whatever you don't feel comfortable with, don't settle for less.
Yeah, so follow us on Instagram at IAM_Austina, TikTok Austina_254, and without adding any other thing, be blessed.